Hello and welcome to jasonnewland.com. My name is Jason Newland. Please only listen when you can safely close your eyes. And this is Let Me Bore Your Phagophobia Away. Or your I can't even say the word. Phagophobia, fear of swallowing. Not the best start, really, is it, to be fair? So that's what the title is. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to even try and say it again. So it's about fear of swallowing. The reason I am making this recording is because of one of my fellow dog walkers was talking about their grandchild, 8-year-old grandchild, who has a fear of swallowing potentially caused by having had a choking incident. Now, this is the important part right at the start. And this counts for every single recording you ever listen to from anyone online, or any audio recording or video recording which is helping you with a physical condition that it could possibly be physical. See a doctor. Get medical help. Find out the cause to make sure, eliminate that it's not a physical cause. Okay, so this is not replacement for medical help. This is an addition. This might be just something that may be useful. That's it. So only listen to this with the permission from your doctor. And if you're a child, if you're a child, get permission from a parent or an adult, a responsible adult, a guardian, or whoever is looking after you. Ideally, get them to sit with you while you listen to this, or if you're on YouTube, while you listen to it on YouTube. Okay. So. But this isn't specifically for kids. This is for anyone. But I just thought I would do this recording. It's going to be very boring, and it might be way too long for a kid to listen to, because it's supposed to be boring. But we'll see. So I had a bit of an issue with this in the past myself. It wasn't caused by an issue of choking so much, but I had started having panic attacks. I mean, I had them late 90s, early 2000s, but I didn't know what they were. They were very sporadic, and I'd be laughing and I'd start choking, and I didn't. But then other times I couldn't breathe. I had to leave a nightclub, and I was like, I really didn't know what it was, but I didn't even know what a panic attack was back then. But in 2002 November, I started having, I had my first full-blown one at work, and then it got worse and worse. So I had a few years of it. Didn't really know what to do about it. I went to a doctor and medication, all stuff like that, and it lasted for quite a while. Was put down to being PTSD and stress, depression, and then just diagnosed with bipolar and personality disorder and all these kinds of things. So it's kind of connected to that. However, part of the panic attacks was I would struggle to swallow in the height of the panic attack. Like my throat would go dry and, all that crap. I managed to deal with that side of it. I managed to calm down. And over the years, I got much better at it. Just from practice, really. But there are some things that you can do which may help. Some things that you can visualize that may actually change how you feel. Especially if it's, if it is caused by an incident that's happened in the past, such as choking. I mean, it's logical, isn't it, really? It's, we learn really quick. A one-event learning situation. But it's natural to have fear after something like that. Because it is blimmin' scary. That's not even the proper word for it. You need a swear word, I think, for that. But it's very, very scary. And for those that have never been through that, they wouldn't know. But we've all been through scary stuff. Let's face it. So, I remember my brother, he was choking once. It was the most ridiculous situation. We had these, because I'm old, I'm about 133 years old. And we had this, it was a new thing at the time, and this was in the early 80s. I don't know, probably 84, 83, 82, 83, 84, probably 84, 83, around that time. And we had this, it was a new thing, toasted sandwiches. And this toaster, basically, it melted everything inside. It was amazing. I think they were called Breville. And they were brilliant. It was the newest trend, at the time. So we had that. And we'd have like cheese, melted cheese and stuff. Now, my older brother, I had two older brothers, the second oldest, because if you know about cheese, it can, it's stringy, isn't it? He started choking on the cheese. And my dad's going, what's wrong? What's wrong? And my dad's literally almost shouting at him, what's wrong? And my brother's turning blue. What's wrong? What's wrong? Everyone else in the room knew he was choking. He was my annoying brother, so I wasn't that bothered, to be honest. I mean, if he died, I'd get his bedroom. But you see, it was, I didn't like him. I didn't want him to die, obviously, but, I wasn't concerned. But my dad was, what's wrong? And it was funny. It was like a comedy movie, like a comedy sketch. And I think in the end, my dad just turned him upside down. And that seemed to do the trick. I mean, I wanted just to take turns, hitting him on the back. Because, if you pat someone on the back, that can help to dislodge the throat. I mean, my older brother, we were just taking running punches. But, kicking him. But hey, that's brothers, sometimes. Now, that left a bit of a thing in me, that was so surreal. If someone's choking, they can't talk, don't ask them what's wrong. If they're eating, just kind of assume that they're choking, it's it got sorted. I think probably everybody's choked at some point. It's, and it's just a natural thing, and eventually it stops and it comes up. It's just, if you're talking and eating or whatever, or if you laugh when you're eating, it's just a natural thing, and generally it's fine. It's no different from maybe having you know, when you go to the toilet and the wee goes in different directions. It's just one of those ones, you know, and both directions end up on the floor. It's that kind of thing. It's like one of those anomalies that's like, okay, a bit annoying, but hey. I don't suppose anyone's really said that before, have they? You know that choking's very much like weeing in two different directions at the same time. That's probably never been said before. Oh well. Something we need to remember is our swallowing ability is, you know, it's inbuilt. It's naturally built. It's not something we need to do anything about unless there's a physical condition. That's a different situation. But if there's nothing physically wrong with us, all we need to do is get out of the way of it. It's just like breathing. Like blood circulation, the heart pumping, the liver doing whatever the liver does, the kidneys doing whatever they do. It's just, we don't need to know. I mean, I suppose from an educational perspective, it might be useful to know what they all do, but I like to think that they got my best intentions at heart and they're behaving themselves. I hope they're not just all inside me watching television, watching YouTube or TikTok videos. So, you know, get on and clear out my urine or whatever they do. Guaranteed, whatever produces poo, always working. That never goes to sleep. Sometimes I wish it would go a little bit of sleep, just, you know. I just need a few hours. Rest. So, can you imagine if you got all the poo that you've ever had, right? Got it all, like from birth to now, and you put it into a big garden, you like piled it up, right? That'd be disgusting, wouldn't it? Ugh. You definitely end up with new neighbours, that's for sure. So, there's different things you can do. So I had problems with the swallowing, but it was nothing, you know, it felt like there was something in my throat, but there wasn't. It just, it's almost like it felt like it was restricted, like it was the tube, you know, the esophagus or whatever they call it, the tube between a mouth and that goes down into your tummy, was smaller than it should be. But it wasn't. It might have been more tense or more tighter stress-wise, but it wasn't physically smaller. You know, it's not like you know, like how you when you've been in a bath, everything shrinks. If you stay in a bath for too long, it's like your whole body shrinks, even the bits you don't want to. It's a bit like that. It's like, oh, but it hasn't really shrunk. It just feels like it has. So, there's a few things. If it's caused by something that's happened, you know, as choking. So if the issue with the swallowing that you had before is caused by, Vinny's going to start barking in a minute. Had to have a little break then because Vinny was shouting at the letterbox, even though nothing was coming through the letterbox. Oh, Vinny's my little Jack Russell thing that I've got. He is cute, but so annoying. Constantly whining. He's like never satisfied. Never satisfied. Like, part of the reason I have pets, because I decided I'm not going to get married. But then I've got a dog that's like never satisfied, never. It's like I can't. Really. I mean, the other day, I was out. I had to leave him on his own for a couple of hours because I had to go to get my prescription and go to the post office. I come back, he's sulking. Okay, because I left him on his own, he wasn't happy, and I said, "Look, don't be angry." He said, "I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed." And I thought, oh man, I'm trying to avoid those kinds of conversations. Anyway, so there was another time. It's like I tried some new food recently, and I said, like, why? And he wouldn't eat it. And I found 3 different types of food, all 3 new things, and he wouldn't eat any of them. And I said, why? Why? I'm trying to sort of give you, spice things up. And he looked at me, he said, it's just not working. I said, why? Why? What am I doing wrong? I just like, you're not happy. What? He said, look, it's not you, it's me. And I said, yeah, I know it's you, but why did you just eat your dinner? It was hard work. Anyway, so there's a few things you can do to ease your throat so your throat feels more relaxed. And that's something we could do, is by actually focusing on your throat and relaxing your throat. Now what we can do, instead of going directly to your throat, I would focus on your hand. Okay, so if your throat is feeling hot, or if your throat is feeling cool, just notice, how does your throat feel when it's tense? Is it cold? Is it really cold? Or is it really warm? Like really, over hot maybe. Maybe, it's just notice how it feels. And what we're going to do, focus on either your right or left hand, whichever hand you want to choose. Just focus on one of those hands. And what we're going to do is just relax the hand. Just relax it. It's very easy to relax a hand because basically you just stop using it and it becomes relaxed. And when you start focusing on your hand, it definitely becomes more relaxed. Now focus on that hand. I'm going to count down from 5 down to 1. As I count down, the hand that you're focused on will become more and more relaxed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now, depending on how your throat feels, if it's hot or if it's cold, just allow your hand to become the opposite to that. So if your throat feels hot, make your hand feel cold. If your throat feels cold, make your hand feel warm. Okay? And as I count down from 5 to 1, your hand will become either cooler or hotter depending on what you choose. So if you want it to become cooler, just imagine resting your hand on top of a fridge, an open fridge, maybe some snow even, but not too cold, but nice, so it's relaxed. Just imagine just resting your hand on some snow. If you want it to be warm, imagine resting your hand on a radiator, but it's got a towel on the top of the radiator, so it's really warm, It's not too hot, but it's really nice and warm. Okay? And as I count down from 5 to 1, let that heat or that cold enter into your hand. 5. Did I say 10 down to 1? Let's get 10 down to 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now that your hand is feeling a lot colder or a lot warmer, depending on what you choose, just raise your hand up. Let it rise up on its own, even maybe, so you're not necessarily consciously controlling your hand, but you can just allow it to rise up, moving towards your neck, towards your throat. And it's kind of maybe 50% conscious effort, but 50% unconscious effort, or no effort at all, where your hand just naturally rises towards your throat, because that's what the intention was to start with, as you prepare to transfer either that warmth or that coolness into your throat to cancel out the feeling that was there before. And maybe you can start to notice that your throat is feeling different already as your hand moves closer and closer to your neck, to your throat, almost like it's moving on its own. And you don't have to do anything really. I mean, maybe you're preparing to feel different. Maybe you're noticing that as your hand turns to the palm is towards your throat, how come it's moving on its own? But it doesn't matter why, because your unconscious mind wants you to feel good, wants you to feel relaxed, wants to heal your body and your mind. And as it moves closer and closer and closer, you can feel that energy on your throat coming from your hand, that coolness or that heat, depending on what you need. And as your fingertips touch your throat, you feel that moving, transferring from your hand into your throat, relaxing your throat, your neck. In fact, relaxing your mouth, your face, your chest, your chin. And it feels almost like your airwaves have opened up more. Breathing is slower and easier. Calmer. And it feels nice, actually. As you're counting down from 5 to 1, keep that energy moving into your throat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now as you allow yourself to now remove any discomfort from your throat and suck it into your hand, let it move into your hand completely. Any lumps, anything that felt like a constriction, anything that was getting in the way of your swallowing before, including any memories, any thoughts, any feelings. Allow that all to be drained into the palm of your hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now just moving your hand slowly away from your throat, you can feel the difference in your neck. It feels different. It feels so much calmer. I can even feel it in my ears. Even my ears feel different. My jaw's more relaxed. And what you can do is allow your hand to move further away from your throat, from your body, and we're going to allow it to just to drop onto your leg when I say so. And when I say now, you can let it drop to your leg, and when that happens, all the memories, all the worries that you had before disintegrate. Because that feeling of your hand falling to your leg gets rid of it all, changes the way you feel now and in the future. So when you're ready to let that go, you can just drop your hand to your leg. And at the moment, it may also still feel as if you're not really controlling your hand at all. In fact, you may wonder, how am I going to drop it? Because it's just there in the air, doing its own thing. So what I'll do to help with this is I'll count down from 5 to 1 again. I want to get to 1. I'll say now, and you can just drop that hand. Automatically will fall to your leg, and things will be squashed. All those feelings and concerns and worries will be completely gone. 5, 4. Are you ready to feel different? Are you ready for those worries to disappear? 2. Feeling completely relaxed. Letting go. 1. Now. Noticing how you feel. So my throat feels really relaxed. In fact, my whole body, including my legs, it's almost when my hand dropped down to my leg, the rest of my body just became as relaxed as my throat. My mind feels clear, slowed down. There's not a worry or concern at all in my mind. That's quite good. So while you're in this feeling, if you keep your hand on your leg, that spot that it dropped, just notice how that feels. Knowing that by dropping your hand onto your leg really can squash and disintegrate and eliminate and destroy that negative feelings and thoughts So I'm going to ask you to do, as you raise your hand again, whether on purpose or just automatically rises on its own. I mean, sometimes just by expecting your hand to raise up on its own, it does, like mine is now. I'm not consciously moving my hand on purpose, it's just moving on its own up. And that means that it's ready. It also means you're in touch with your unconscious mind, which means you can make changes, deep changes, very easily. It's almost like you've been given permission to make these changes. It's like you can edit, like editing a video or something. And that's a good example for maybe a memory, perhaps a memory involving choking, where when you think about that memory, how it used to affect you before, is your hands now raised above your knee or above your leg. When you think about that memory, the feelings and everything, maybe you can't get that memory back anymore. Maybe it just doesn't have the same feeling that it did before. It doesn't have any power over you like it used to. But as you're ready to just allow all those feelings from that memory to be absorbed into your hand, the way your throat did the same thing, allowing your hand to take those feelings from your throat. Again, allowing all those feelings from any previous memories involving issues with choking to be sucked into your hand, soaked in, maybe stuck to your hand like a magnet. As we count from 5 down to 1, I'll say now again, you can drop your hand to your leg and all those feelings and issues will disappear. 5, 4, 3, are you ready? You know this works because you've already done it. 2, 1, now. Wow. It's very calming. I don't know about you, but ooh, very peaceful in my mind. I don't know how I managed to bash the desk as I let my hand fall. But I've had my eyes closed, so I didn't quite know where my hand was. I knew it wasn't outside playing football, but I didn't know. I knew roughly where it was because I didn't actually purposely raise my hand, it just did it on its own. It's weird, isn't it? Just the thought, the idea of something can actually create that to happen. But then we know that anyway, don't we? Because that's what was happening before. But before it was thinking of something unpleasant that caused an unpleasant feeling. So now thinking of something pleasant can cause pleasant feelings. Oh. It kind of all comes together like a really weird jigsaw puzzle. I don't know what the picture would be. Maybe it'd be a picture of you sitting on a beach, or maybe at the zoo, or with your favourite animal cuddling. Maybe cuddling your cat or your dog, or your grandparents, or your kids, or maybe whatever you enjoy doing. That's quite nice, isn't it? I think sometimes all we need is to give ourselves permission. Give yourself permission to let go. Because this is our natural state. It's a bit like, I suppose, it's a little bit like sleeping. Sleeping is the most natural thing. We were born with the ability to sleep. I mean, babies can sleep. I know they can be a bit cryy, and when they're first born and that. But when a baby's asleep, It's a natural thing. We're born with the natural ability to eat, to swallow, to relax, to poo, to all those things, to laugh. We've got all these are just natural things that are automatic, things we don't need to think about. Because if we did, that life would be difficult. We had to think about every step we took, or every time we moved our hand, or every time we were going to do something. We had to think, well, now I'm going to whatever. I'm now going to move my knife and fork. I'm going to move my fork to hold down the sausage. And now I'm going to focus on my right hand as I cut the sausage up. Like, we don't have to think that. We just do it. It just slowly happens. And it's kind of, oh, okay. And that is quite nice to know that all these things are automatic. So we don't, I'm not saying, cutting up a sausage is automatic, but there is an automatic process to it. Our bodies move, we choose to cut up a sausage, and that's what we do. You choose how much pressure you put on a sausage. If it's, it might be overcooked. I don't mind burnt sausages, actually, although I've not had one for a while. I don't normally eat burnt food, but sometimes it's okay. Like burnt sausages, mashed potato, beans, and some tomato ketchup. Yeah, I think barbecued sausages burnt can be nice. But then barbecue sausages tend to taste nicer anyway, because obviously they've been done in a barbecue and there's a different kind of taste. Although I'm not an expert on barbecues. And you may have noticed, if you've been listening to me in the past or just this recording, I'm not an expert on anything. You're an expert on enjoying your own voice, enjoying the sound of your own voice, aren't you? Which is rude. Vinny, stop moaning, man. He's such a moaner. I have to edit him out absolutely going nutty earlier, because the neighbour opposite me is having a new kitchen put in, and Vinny was barking. I was telling him stop, and he couldn't control it. He couldn't. He's a little bit like when he gets his dinner, or he gets a treat, he has to eat it. He can't not eat it. He loves eggs. I don't know what that's about, but he loves eggs, raw eggs. He'll eat a night. I don't give them to him too often, but he loves them. And we go walking, we go out. Everybody gives him a treat, and he never has enough. It's like, give me more, just like, he doesn't stop eating. Yeah, he's only little. I'm surprised I don't want to talk about poo, because I don't like doing that, but I'm surprised he doesn't poo more. Honestly. I don't know, I sometimes, because of the amount he eats, and he does 2 poos a day when we're out, I sometimes think like I'm going to catch him with his bum out the window doing a poo, because he's just, where does it all go? I don't know. Unless he uses a toilet. He is quite clever. That'd be a weird visual. maybe not as weird as seeing him poking his bum out the window. Now that would be problematic, especially if a neighbour's sunbathing in the garden. So, however weird this recording might be, and it's supposed to be weird, because anything I do is going to be a bit strange, because I'm just a bit weird, I guess. I do things my way. Not necessarily the right way, but my way. So, let me know how you get on. And this is going to be the end of this recording. So I will post this on... I'll do different versions. I'll do normal recording length, whatever this is. I don't know, is it 40 minutes? Then I'll do one with music. I'll do a 5-hour and a 10-hour version, both with and without music. I'll upload those to the podcasts. I'll also upload this to YouTube. And yeah, if it's useful. And don't forget, as I said, this is not a replacement for anything. But hopefully, if nothing else, you feel more relaxed. So thank you for listening. I might do another one of these, but a different, just go from a different angle. So thank you for listening. Remember to be kind to yourself, because you do deserve to be happy. And be gentle with yourself, because you deserve to feel safe. Lots of love. Bye.